Today is February the 3rd, 2011. This morning, Ed Weathers wrote me an email pointing out that a young woman in in Egypt, by the name of Asma Mahfouz, had made a Facebook presentation which had gone viral in the Arab world. He was very high on this Facebook presentation, which dealt with the question of whether or not the Egyptian government under Mubarak should be deposed. In addition, he cited us to a presentation that a young man had made in Iowa to presumably the Iowa General Assembly about the glories of gay marriage as an American institution. I wrote him back today as follows. Dear Ed, you pique my interest by what you say, even if I don't happen to agree with you on every point that you make. Don't confuse mere political matters, such as the abdication of Mubarak or the right to gay marriage, with eternal truth. In the eloquence of Lord Tennyson, from Mort D'Arthur, keep in mind King Arthur's dying admonition to Sir Belvedere, who was mourning the passing of Camelot. The old order changeth, yielding place to new, and God fulfills himself in many ways, lest one good custom should corrupt the world. On the same day, Margaret McCloy Custer, Catherine's niece, had written a very nice comment about Facebook and Twitter and the Egyptian situation. The principal thing which she said, which excited my attention, was the following. She wrote, "Last week, I had a conversation with a family member over email regarding Facebook and its questionable approach to user piracy. Here is what I said then. The problem with the kids in my office serves is that they have no expectation of privacy. I check Facebook periodically to see if so-and-so has posted anything they shouldn't, just like I check the court records to see if they are continuing to break the law. It's amazing and scary, but most of them don't have any privacy filters set on their Facebook profiles. Open to the world, they post things about how much pot they smoke or how much they hate so-and-so. When questioned, they already know that their profiles are open to the public and they don't care to make them private. One kid recently told me, they've got bots and programs that can get my information anyway, so why should I hide it? There is no expectation of privacy and no expectation that the information isn't already out there in the first place. Pretty frightening to think about the kind of surveillance culture that social media has created, in which, despite all of this, many intelligent and aware adults take part. Here is what I wrote to her. Dear Margaret, you make a number of excellent points. I am particularly struck by the comments you made on a general lack of any expectation of privacy on the part of the Facebook Twitter crowd, to which I would like to add the following. The phrase, quote, expectation of privacy, close quote, to me includes the capacity to exercise taste, discrimination, and the willingness to be judgmental, to which I hasten to give my own definition in the light of their modern, politically incorrect context. To me, taste and discrimination include a level of education and experience sufficient to differentiate between Picasso and Captain Marvel, Shakespeare and the mating game. Judgmental includes the ability and willingness to express the belief that Moby Dick has greater artistic value than Harry Potter. My own admittedly anecdotal evidence with Facebook is that it has a significant tendency to contribute to the perhaps natural but definitely lazy tendency of human beings to lapse into mediocrity. I signed up for Facebook several months ago, and since that time, in addition to discovering how many friends I have, most of whom I've never even heard of before, I have been amazed and very aggrieved at the utter triviality with which I have been pestered. About Twitter, since I have never used it, I can only say that I doubt the possibility of any meaningful exchange of significant ideas, and limited to only 140 or so alphanumeric characters. Also, I understand by rumor and hearsay that it is totally destroying the English language, if not also the ability to listen and communicate. In closing, let me make one further comment. In the play 1776, following the first reading of the Declaration of Independence, there is the following piece of dialogue. John Adams to Thomas Jefferson. It's a masterpiece. I am to be congratulated. Benjamin Franklin. You, John? John Adams. Well, I made him write it. In the same way, your Aunt Catherine and I are to be congratulated. We got you to join this group of usual suspects. GWS.